Hi guys, Stuart and Aaron here for Outdoor Basics, and if you maybe had a look in your Instagram, our Instagram, Outdoor Basics Instagram, you would have seen the risks that Al took to bring you this video. And today we're going to talk about the Millbank bag. So this is the Helikon-tex water filter bag, effectively a Millbank bag. I got this from the Bushcraft store UK. No affiliation with them, they don't do anything, I'm just telling you where I got it. The Bushcraft store. So a Millbank bag is, it's an old school filtration bit of kit, and in the world of super fancy filters and, you know, sawyers and everything else that are amazing, simple things can sometimes be forgotten. And what's really good about this bit of kit is just how dependable and durable it is. And time-tested kit is the way to go, do you know what I mean? It's very hard to break this, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's awesome. So basically what this does is, you get it really wet, and when you get heavy duty canvas, it's a heavy duty canvas bag, and when you get heavy duty canvas wet, the kind of material expands and it makes it kind of, the water runs through it, but it catches all the kind of dirt and crap. This isn't for purifying water, for example. If I had to take this water, run it through this bag and just drink it, I would get sick. This is more for taking the turbidity out of water, and there is a big word, turbidity. So if you imagine all the leaf litter, or the debris, or the mud, or the crap, this is going to take that out. However, the kind of parasites in the water that would get you are still going to be there. But what this is going to do is take muddy, dirty brown water, take it through clear, get all the dirt and crap out of it, then you boil it. You get it to a rolling boil for a decent amount of time. You don't want it to just start boiling, it has to be a rolling boil for a few minutes. Once you've done that, the water's pretty much good to drink. However, there is a few simple things that if you don't do, you're going to have a bit of, you're going to come unstuck. Okay, for example, if I had to take this water bottle and use this water bottle to fill up this Millbank bag, then run my water through the Millbank bag into my cup, boil it up in the cup, and then pour it back into the bottle, I would have a thing called, I would have cross-contamination. Yeah, so for example, I don't want to boil it up in one thing and then use this when I've used this to scoop it up, because as I say, cross-contamination, and that is something you really need to think about. So for example, if I was wanting to put my clean water back into this bottle, I would use this bottle to fill my Millbank bag up. When it dripped back through, yeah, rinse it out, let it drip back through, and then boil it in this container, because then I've killed everything that was inside this. Hope that makes sense, guys, yeah? So cross-contamination is something that you really need to think about. So this is Helikon-tex version. It feels like a decent canvas. It comes with a kind of paracord loop here. You can just put over and then loop onto this toggle for when you hang it up. It seems pretty decent, like. I don't know how many litres this actually is. I'm thinking maybe 2, 1.5, 2 maybe. Yeah, 2 litres I'd say. It comes with this wee bag with some kind of waterproof bag that's attached to it, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Basic instructions on it: dip the bag in clean water, fill the bag with dirty water and hang freely, wait several minutes to let the dirt water drain, clean the bag's interior after use. So yeah, this is attached to this, and I've no idea why, because I'm going to demonstrate how to use this, and with this attached, that would mean the bag that you're going to store it in is going to get wet and honking to go back into your kit. I'm assuming this is just attached to it for when you get it and you're meant to cut it off. I have not seen this particular Helikon-tex one reviewed before. I am going to cut this off right now. Helikon-tex have probably got a cool reason that I don't know about, and they're all dying just now. I would assume this is to be cut off, but you know what assumptions make. Because why would I get the bag that I'm going to store it in soaking wet to put back into my kit? Makes no sense. So it's coming off. That's a sharp knife, innit? My Gucci wee Gerber. Was given this as a gift by one of my mates. Absolutely love it. Cracking wee bit of kit that. You've got all the Gerber haters. Whoa! Fuck you. Right, so I've took this off, and as I say, it's a wee waterproof bag that it can be stowed in, and it's cool, man. It's got like a wee loop there that I can attach it to, and it's got a nice wee toggle. So nice wee bit of kit that. So how do I use a Millbank bag? Mega basic. So yeah guys, I'm really excited to use this because, as you can see, I'm wearing a lot of Helikon-tex kit. I highly rate Helikon-tex kit, and our bushcraft line seems to be absolutely outstanding. So let's just talk about this. Something that we really need to consider, and I should have said this at the start when using this, if you're in, for example, farmland, where they're using things like, and we're getting water for farmland, where they're using things like chemical fertilisers or whatever it is, this and boiling will not take those chemicals out. You would need a very special filter to do that. I don't know, a filter I'm going to have a good look at is maybe the Grail filter. So I don't know if anybody's got any ideas, let me know. So this would not take chemicals out. It'll take particulates and bacteria out, but it's not going to take chemicals out. So that's something to think about, where you are getting your water from when you are out and about. Okay, if in doubt, miss it out. If you are in doubt of a water source, don't get near it, just avoid it. Yeah, just avoid it totally. For example, in a peaty area, if there's loads of peat in the area and you know that, that's going to stain your water. That's fine as long as you know the area. But if you're unsure, if in doubt, miss it out, yeah. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, keeping the bag closed, okay, I don't open it up, is immerse it fully in the water. And immediately you can see there's all that turbidity I'm talking about. See that? See if I'd used my, like, just trying to get it in a cup to boil, I'd be getting all this crap in it. So I need to immerse it fully in the water. You'll see this is what I'm talking about. See all this leaf litter for these trees falling? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Fully immerse it. And I'm going to leave it there for a minute or two to let that fully absorb into it. Sweet guys, see you in a second. I'm just going to put this wee stick to hold it under. Okay, once I've done that, roll it up, bring it out. Now, something that this one doesn't have, that the ones I had in the military that I was issued, is kind of maybe 3/4 of the way up. There was a line about here. Yeah, so it'd be a line about 3/4 of the way up. Now what that line is for is when you fill the bag up with water all the way to the top and let it drain, you don't drink anything, you don't use anything until it goes below that line, because when it gets below that line, that means that water's set through and cleaned the outside of the bag. So that's set through and washed all the rubbish off the outside of the bag. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm actually going to use a pen to mark it up. Just about 3/4 of the way there. But you can just eyeball it. Sweet. So here we go. I'm now going to fill it up. Now remember what I said. So let's just recap that. Remember what I said about cross-contamination. If I was using my water bottle to fill this bag up or drip into, it would have to be boiled. Yeah, the water before, like, I need to use that. If you're using, for example, you use your plastic water bottle to fill this up, yeah? Then you boil it in your cup, let it cool and pour it into your plastic water bottle. You're pissing in the wind. You've poured clean water into a contaminated bottle. it's no good. Yeah, so if you're doing that, that's why I like metal water bottles, guys, yeah, because I can boil it up at source. Are we happy with that? Sweet. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to start that. See it dripping through? See it there? Remember what I said, guys, I want to keep going till I get it all the way up. So, I'm just going to hang this here. Trying not to spill it on the outside as much as I can. There we go, that's a decent wee run through there. Okay, so that's as far as I can get it because it's right at the top there, see that? That's running nice. You can actually see how clear that's running. Hang on now, I'm going to go over here. It says, looking, this will do. This will do. This is what's good about this, man. This is quite a good wee design, look at that. Straight through, wee toggle. Now, you'll see that's running through, but remember what I said, see what it is there? I don't trust this, see the way it's seeping through there? I don't really trust this because I want all this shit on the outside to have ran off. So, I won't touch this, put my cup under it till it's about there. Yeah, till it's dripped through to about there. Then I know that I've cleaned off all through that bottom half, much, much better. So there, let's look in and see the turbidity. There's another big word, I love that big word. The turbidity of the water inside. Yep. And then we'll see the turbidity of the water in the cup. I'm going to rinse this cup clean as well, just for one of the reasonable wee flowing areas here. I deliberately kind of wanted to make it as howling as I could, really, to prove the point of how effective it is. So there's the cup, relatively clean. So another top tip, yeah, if when you do it and it's not really dripping that well, it's not really giving you too much, empty it out, soak it again, take it out, wring it out and start the process again, and that should sort it out. So tune in a few minutes and we'll get this to where it should be. Okay guys, so we're back. You can see that's dripping in there nicely, and I'm gonna say something first. As you can see that there, the wind's getting up a little bit and moving that around. See the wind kind of blowing it and it's moving back and forth. So to take it up high and hang it down, that's why this is great. This bit of kind of longer paracord on this is great. It's a good feature on the Helik, this one. But if it's blowing it around, it'll maybe, excuse me, if you walk away and leave it, the bag will be getting blown around and none of the water will be dripping into your cup. So you maybe want to think of using a wide base pot, or A, keep an eye on it, B, use a wide base pot, or C, drop it down a wee bit lower. But it's just something to think about, that this might get pushed around with the wind and not maybe be the best. As I said guys, the Helikon-tex one doesn't have the line on it, that's fine, I've just eyeballed it, or you can draw a line on it if you want. But as long as you know that don't use the water for the first quarter, allow the bag, allow that to soak through so that it rinses all the crap off the outside of the bag, so you're not getting any bits of crap for the outside of the bag. Personally, once I've filled it with water, I use the cleaner water and splash it all off to take any crap off it anyway. But it's just good practice, or best practice as they say, not to use the water for the first quarter of the bag. So if you look at this now, if you look at the howliness for inside the bag, and then you look at that, massively different, yeah, massively different. As I say, there's loads of peat in this area, so it could stain the water, and I know that. However, if in doubt, miss it out. So what I could do now is I could use a Oasis Puri tab, and that would be for 1 litre of water. That would purify 1 litre of water. And if I just poured that straight into my water bottle there, and then used my Puri tab, that would be fine. However, if the cross-contamination, like I say, is a massive thing, so I want to boil the water in that cup to purify that, yeah, and if I got the water in my water bottle, I would want to boil it in my water bottle. Cross-contamination is a massive thing, so be very careful with that. So yeah, as you can see, that's dripped through, clean water, all that good sounding stuff. Cross-contamination, the drain off line. Now though, once this is completely dripped out and it's finished, I want to take that off, and I want to pull it inside out and rinse it all off. Rinse as much of the crap out the inside as I can, rinse as much crap out the outside as I can, wring it all out and get it back in its Gucci wee stuff sack that Helikon-tex gave us with it. As always, it's all solidly made, man. There isn't, to me personally, I don't think there's any poorly made Helikon-tex kit. Helikon-tex kit is bomb-proof, and I'm really enjoying their bushcraft line. So when I seen this, I think this comes in at £7.95, £7 British, 95. It's just madness. These are usually quite dear. I've seen other companies that are quite dear, and that is absolutely bomb-proof. Solid bit of kit, decent size. So yeah, for £7.95, well made for Helikon-tex, a bomb-proof bit of kit once you understand how to use it. Excellent, absolutely excellent bit of kit. So yeah, as always, I've been Stuart, he's been Alan, you guys have been awesome. That's been a Helikon-tex Millbank water filter bag. Again, make sure that you're following the basics. Get it wet, let it soak for a wee while, fill it up, don't use it until it gets below a quarter of the bag. Consider cross-contamination as an absolute must. You need to be totally aware of cross-contamination. Once you've got that done, before you drink it, treat it with pills, or use like a Sawyer filter or whatever, because that'll help prolong the life of your filter and stop as much drama with your filter, or get it up to a rolling boil. So, sweet. See you in the next one, team. Hi team, so if you look in here now, you'll see what I'm talking about when I say like turbidity or minginess really. You'll see all this horrible sludge. Yep, and I'll just pour some of this out now. Yeah, so that's what this is, that's what this filter has got out. Yep, so here's a tip, right, here's a tip. So I've took the water that I'm going to use today, yeah, I've took it, I've boiled it up. Once it's boiled and cleaned, I've put it into my water bottle, and my water bottle's all good. I'm then going to drip one more set of water into this. So this is my clean water, yeah, this is clean water. I always take a wee bit more than I think I'm actually going to use, do you know what I mean? Because this last item of boiled water, it's not really boiled water, lads, we're making believe. This last bit of boiled water, because remember, I don't want to leave that cup contaminated. I always need to finish it off with boiled water, or using my chemicals, like i.e. Oasis tablets or something. Get this bad boy turned inside out. I'm then going to go back over to the water source. And get as much of it off as I can. And this is something I've not seen many people do in their review of these bags. They just say, yeah, rinse it out, but if you're in the field, how? So always have that wee bit of extra water. Pull it out and repeat the process for the outside of the bag, yeah. Because remember, I want to keep it in as decent working order as I can. Treat your kit well and it'll treat you well, guys. So I would repeat the process on the outside. I'd rinse as much of this crap off as I could. Wring it all out. And leave it up to dry off. Once it had dried off, I would return it back to its bag and I could just keep using this, because all the big amount of silt, like all that, if I left that silty crap inside there, it would just totally fuck the bag up. So I've rinsed the vast majority of it out, cleaned it all off, and I can continue doing what I'm doing. Kit maintenance, yeah, look after your kit and it'll look after you. Then once it's all dry, get it all packed away in a handy dandy bag that Helikon-tex gave you. I mean, there you go, guys. I mean, look at that. Really, it's nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's why I cut it off. I don't know if you were meant to, but now look, that's water. That's dry, like drying the outside, and it's not going to get the rest of my kit minging. So, a couple of key points to remember. Avoid cross-contamination at all costs, and it will not take chemicals out. If you are near farmland where they are using chemical pesticides or whatever, it will not take chemicals out. Even if you boil it, you need to get a fancy pants filter for that.
Boom.